Pills? Is there something else?
What pills? Yeah, I was gonna invite. All right, we're good this time, right? Quarter black.
We're good.
Okay, we just started this, and then something funky happened with the YouTube. This is actually the most nervous I've been for an Ash Wednesday with a special guest. I don't want to say starstruck because I don't want to be insensitive, even though I am. I want to make sure I get this right. You know, Dave, you can light your cigar during the. You can light it during the.
No, I'm trying. I'm trying to do it now.
Yeah, we'll light it during. We have.
And it's all right that you're starstruck around me.
Yes, well, I never get over it, Dave. Every time you're in the green room, I urinate myself a little bit.
I know.
I think that's also because I have the plate in my head and Quarter Black turns on the microwave. Look, show them who we have here. Piss my pants, forget who I am for a few minutes.
Merry Christmas.
This is, we have him here, Kyle Rittenhouse. This is Ash Wednesday.
I don't know enough to know whether that 17-year-old kid exactly what he did, but allegedly he's part of a militia coming out of the state of Illinois. Have you ever heard this president say one negative thing about white supremacists?
A 17-year-old vigilante, arguably a domestic terrorist, picked up a rifle, drove to a different state to shoot people.
We must never allow mob rule.
17-year-old being held on suspicion of first-degree intentional homicide.
You see the 17-year-old who was radicalized by Trumpism, took his AR-15 to Kenosha and became a killer.
All right, so he is here. I want to make sure that I have these notes just to make sure I get all the names right so that I get sued as opposed to this young man. This is a kid who was thrust into a situation that really through no fault of his own, and a lot of conservatives or people on the right tried to do the both sides, and we didn't. A lot of prayers said for this kid in this studio, and I think you all know how emotional it was for us when he was vindicated. And now he's on social media, so it's not, and Kyle Rittenhouse, it's not Fluffer Boy 2004.
Unfortunately, it is not Fluffer Boy 2000.
Why do I have Fluffer Boy 2000? Why do I have that here?
To my understanding, I believe that Assistant District Attorney Binger.
District Attorney Binger.
Oh, I thought it was Boy Fluffer 2000.
Well, birds of a feather.
Yeah.
Unless it's 88 Cross, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But one of them was Fluffer Boy.
One of them.
But yours is on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at This Is Kyle Rittenhouse, and on Twitter it's at This Is Kyle R.
That is correct.
Right? What are you using the social for?
Well, just to show my life outside of the cameras.
You taking like pictures of your cappuccinos and shit?
My lattes,
Yeah.
yes. My Starbucks.
A little bit of ladies, right?
Little bit of ladies?
Yes.
Or do you like the boys?
Right.
That's okay too.
Oh,
we don't know. We don't care.
Only you, Steven.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm going to go.
He's sharp. Look at this.
I know
he's it back over the and so poised too.
He's a polite young Midwestern man.
Yes.
Boy, man.
It's all the
man
cheese
boy.
curds and brats we eat back in Wisconsin.
Oh, dude, so delightful. I agree.
Polite young man who takes out the trash.
That's right.
And I mean, he actually was cleaning up the trash in Kenosha.
Yeah.
When was the last time you as a kid
Me?
went to a city? Well, went to a city where you worked. Served as a lifeguard, or your dad lived, to clean up vandalism and trash. Do you ever remember doing that?
I'm sorry, that whole thing doesn't jive with me.
No, it doesn't jive.
I've gone to a city to buy drugs when I was his age.
That's true.
That was my thing.
He was.
You're like a kid who's like, you were practicing to be an EMT, correct?
I was a firefighter EMT cadet at the Antioch Fire Department, and I was a Grays Lake Police Explorer.
Wow.
What does that mean?
So I learned what police officers do through a youth program. It's like sponsored by the Boy Scouts of America.
Okay.
learning what they do, the career stuff. Get to hang out with a bunch of cool cops and firefighters, the real the heroes out there.
Whoa, he corrected it. Do you mean to suggest that nurses TikToking are not the same as first responders? I won't put you in the hot seat, but you said it.
It's working.
Let me ask you, man, and I know you've been making the media rounds now. Thanks for fitting us in. You, what's it like? What's the relief like?
Being acquitted. So like you're walking up a mountain with about 1,000-pound weights on your ankle.
Yeah.
And then it was a tether.
And then you're zip lining it down. That relief.
Oh yeah. Because you fainted for real, right?
I didn't faint. My knees buckled in.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Because you could see. I
was like overwhelmed with relief.
That's when you get that real feeling of just, I can't. Oh, you know what? I've never had that feeling. It's got to be the greatest moment.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And then walking out, me and the sergeant for Kenosha Police Department, really professional guy.
Yeah.
We sprinted down the hallway.
Yeah.
Getting out of that courthouse.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I guess you could say that's the first time I ran from a cop.
There you go.
Yeah, usually you're running toward them with your hands up, with your hands actually up, saying this is exactly what happened. And that was all misrepresented. So much this was misrepresented. And I know
every way.
I have to be careful in what I ask you. If I ask you anything that you can't answer,
yep, no problem.
Just tell me. You tell me to.
I'll throw my mug at you.
Well, you know what? That's a dangerous. It's a registered weapon. Unlike those asbestos tumblers.
Really?
Oh, those things are light. They're they go by feathers.
Oh, well, I'll take this home with me.
Okay, well that's fine. You can take several home with you. You brought some dogs here too, which we're dog people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that's relevant. That's like a stupid Oprah question.
It is.
Do you like dogs?
I love dogs.
Yeah, we should really softball this whole thing.
Yeah, we should softball this whole thing.
What do you like, waffles or pancakes?
Yeah.
Which one?
I like crepes.
Oh, look at this guy. He's
wow,
fancy.
I think I see a new Instagram theme.
I don't know why his pinky's
Crepe
not
life.
out. It is.
Treat yourself. What was okay? I do have some things that I genuinely just am curious about. You were, and I think a lot of people got this wrong. And by the way, we'll be taking some chat on Mug Club. I keep looking to the wrong camera because we have it set up here for Ash Wednesday live. Guys, you can comment. Please hit the like button. I'm only going to ask this once because I don't want to interrupt our conversation. And we'll be taking your questions, your chat exclusively on Mug Club, livescrowd.com/Mug Club after this. So first, let me ask you, and I know Joy Reid said this didn't happen, but she's an idiot.
Yes.
When the president, if not outright said, their argument is he didn't call you a white supremacist. He just inferred it and showed a video of you with him narrating about white supremacy. I think that's bad enough. What was that like when the president of the United States, former vice president of the United States, was dragging your name through the mud before you even made it to trial?
Very disappointing. Biden's a former criminal defense attorney, so he should know innocent until proven guilty, but he decided to go guilty before being proved innocent.
Well, he didn't practice. He didn't. I mean, if he did, it was like for 6 months. He like clerked. I mean, he's been suckling at the government, the public teat for his whole life since he was like 27 years old. Yeah.
I've also heard rumors his memory's fading.
Yes. Unsubstantiated.
But, Mr. President, I hope you see this. I'd have a sit down and I'll explain the facts to you so you can understand them.
So he just heard a cowbell, a dinner bell, and thinks that you're asking him to come in for pudding. That's not going to help. I don't think he'll be having a beer meal with you.
3 squares of pudding a day.
3 square cups a day. Yeah, but you're saying, okay, were you scared? Did you think that the fix is in at that point? When you see the most powerful office in the land sounding off, in my mind, I would go, he's emboldened here for a reason. Were you scared?
I was terrified. Like when I have all these lying media organizations, the president coming out and saying all these false things that just are not true.
Right.
It's just like, how could somebody get away with that and not be honest journalists?
Well, the Clintons killed a guy.
Oh. Is that true?
Allegedly. These are rumors.
Not heard of it.
Sorry, I don't want to misspeak. 9 guys. 1 girl.
That's good you weren't in the cell alone.
Yeah. That must have been terrifying. And then it's even worse than that. I talked about this on air. You have the entire media entertainment industrial complex. You have the former Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Not even liberal station. I mean, some backed him up, but
yeah.
I mean, every news station jumped on white supremacy instantly.
But then in the trial, was there ever a moment where your blood ran cold when you found out that the FBI had either withheld or lost the HD footage? Well, did your blood run cold when you? I remember when I realized that, I thought, oh no, they're going to railroad this kid.
So backing up a little bit, with the FBI footage, we figured out about it about a month and a half prior to trial, and we got like a 4-minute video, extremely compressed.
Okay.
Sorry, Sprite.
Oh yeah, well that's okay.
You're fine.
Don't worry about burping. That's the least offensive thing that's taken place on the show.
But we found out about that a month or so prior to trial happening, and apparently the state had that for several months, that video, and it wasn't sent to us.
Wow.
And when we got it, the state said it shows me chasing down Mr. Rosenbaum, which is false. Mr. Rosenbaum chased me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've saw.
And it's even in the FBI video. So I'm like,
it was in Fluffer Boy 2004's opening statements where he said, "And we have FBI footage that will show Mr. Rittenhouse was chasing Rosenbaum." And I remember us hearing that, going, "Oh, how have they been sitting on this? How did it not make it to discovery?" I thought maybe there was something I had missed. And then he showed it, and I'm going, well, it's the exact opposite.
Exactly.
What you said.
Exactly.
Not you, what he said, Fluffy Boy. But you obviously notice, it must have been, did it come in waves? You're going, oh, the FBI wants a certain outcome here. It seems that way.
Mm-hmm. And then seeing that, I was like, oh, geez, it's really good that there's cameras. And then the second thought is, why is the FBI spying on U.S. citizens?
Yeah. That was my question, too.
Yeah.
Is how many other riots that were taking place had drones, or they claimed, I think, at one point, a Cessna, like a manned vehicle. How many other riots have this footage? Do they have footage of the man who shot David Dorn? Do they have footage of the over a dozen people who were killed at these riots? The cops who were, and
they haven't caught the people who shot David Dorn, have they?
I don't know.
I don't know if they're looking.
Yeah, I don't know if they're looking. And for people who don't remember, he's the man who was shot dead. Was a longtime St. Louis, or an area in Missouri, I don't know if it was St. Louis proper, police officer who was retired and shot in the street over a television. Black guy, by the way, before you go with the white supremacy angle again.
Which
that
is
one
odd when one of the people who you defended yourself against was screaming the N-word over and over again at a gas station.
Oh, that's a question. Maybe it's a little bit light. So, you were there when he was screaming the N-word repeatedly, Rosenbaum.
I wasn't at that gas station, but I saw the videos. But
okay.
The one time I did hear Mr. Rosenbaum scream the N-word, I was with Ryan Balch, and he came up to us. I was asking people if they need help. Yeah. I was helping the rioters with first aid. And then he came up, he said, "I'm going to fucking kill you, you N-word."
Wow.
And then the second time...
I love how we say N-word, but you can say fucking. Even though you're quoting someone else, and
I think it's best.
Yeah, I think it's best because we played the clip and we were accused of using the N-word on television because we're like, this is what he said. I didn't want to whitewash it. Mm-hmm. But sorry, continue. So this is when you saw him,
and then I was like, okay, and we moved away from him.
Most casual. You're like, so you don't need help then?
Yeah, like Grandpa Simpson walking into the brothel and walking back out when he sees Bart. So. Okay, so red flag.
Yeah, very big red flag. He was setting fires everywhere. I saw him set a trailer on fire. He's walking around with a chain.
And a mental hospital bag, is that correct?
That's what he threw at you. When he threw it at you, did you know it? You're like, oh my God, Percocet. Like, did you see what was in it?
I didn't know what it was in it. I thought it was a metal chain because how it was shining through the light. I know it's not a metal chain now, but that's what I saw when it was thrown.
If nothing else, we have to say about Rosenbaum that he's a Renaissance man in the armaments that he chooses.
Yes.
I was surprised he didn't go with a zip gun. He went with a chain.
He did.
I respect that.
He did. He was snapping and
Did you notice, though, to me, what I saw was not just him screaming the N-word, but that there were black guys around him who didn't do anything, which tells you he's really crazy. They were just like, oh, my God.
Yeah, when you don't punch that guy, he really seemed insane. Like, he really did seem...
Did you get that vibe when you saw him?
Did you get that that vibe of danger, I guess?
I noticed somebody who was... like threatening to kill me. I'm like, nobody threatens to kill somebody that's It's not normal.
Well, I threaten to kill Dave all the time.
Hey, it's okay. You guys have a little bit of a romance going on.
We do.
Well, yeah. Then he has me to spit in his mouth. I'm like, come on, let's
Steven, we all saw behind the scenes.
I say surprise me with it.
Yes. That's like he just goes. He shows up in a corset and says, "Do you like surprises?"
That's how I like my coffee.
So I had to ask Steven to change. He was wearing lingerie for Dave before I came here.
That's true.
Well, I wouldn't call it lingerie because I'm French Canadian.
Plus, there's way too much exposed.
Yeah,
I would call it a string.
I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it was just a pair of socks. He likes me to wear a little something.
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff popping up.
Yes.
They're got the doilies on them.
So we're going back to Rosenbaum, but the FBI, to me, that was what?
Just socks.
My attention is aimed at this child, not this child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a cigar.
I'm surrounded by children. So the FBI, though, to me, that was really scary. I think for a lot of people, they realized, okay, in this case, I don't want to tar and feather everyone at the FBI. In this case, there's a politically charged agenda if they didn't give them this footage.
At least behind someone, right? Yeah.
Yes. But in this case, I didn't see this as a political case. I saw this about a case of self-defense. That's how I looked at it. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but that's how I saw it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what it was. It was the right time for the media to build up a story that they wanted, and they used you, and that's terrifying, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially just being a normal 17-year-old kid who was attacked, and next thing I know, everybody in this world apparently knows who I am.
Yeah. Well, attacked
I can't imagine.
And I don't want to, and you let me know if I'm going to attacked by. I mean, you didn't know at the time a child rapist, who, and this is not just this has nothing to do with you exercising your right to self-defense, but it also goes back to this idea of the sort of these reforms that we've seen. This is a guy who really probably should have been locked away for life.
Yes.
Based on the crimes that he had committed. Just like you see people in New York, with this sort of cash bail, they go out and they commit violent crimes again, and unfortunately, law-abiding citizens are the ones who get vilified. People would say, well, you had no business being there. I never said that because I don't believe that. I think it's a lot easier for people to say, I'm justifying why I wasn't there. I think a lot of people thought, you know what, this is a kid who's trying to do the right thing because no one is. And a city where he works and he has close ties is ablaze. I know you probably would, if you could do it again, you wouldn't go.
Hindsight being 2020.
Yes.
I would have stayed home. Hindsight being 2020, but we can't change that, and it doesn't change the fact that I was attacked and defended myself.
No, absolutely. But you would have stayed home just because you'd rather avoid all this?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine being 18. I mean, and I know it's got to be difficult for you to have to, deal with all of this, but why did you go out that night? That's what I guess, because so many people.
Well, he was there before that night.
Oh, you were there before the night?
Yeah, you were there before.
I was there that morning cleaning graffiti off of Ruther Central High School with Dominic and my sister and Ray. And then I stayed the night at Dominic's house the night prior, and we had fish for dinner that night. So.
Yeah. See, I just think people need to hear that, though, because there's this
fish.
Yeah, was it good? What did you have?
You have tilapia? Was it a halibut? I'm a halibut guy.
Bluegill chips.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Fried bluegill chips, really good. One of my favorite foods.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's very specific. You're going to be a very good Instagram foodie.
Yeah.
People are going to love it.
Food is everything and explains the gut. It's almost bigger than Dave's.
Please.
Good Lord.
What, he's right.
Dave, you can unload on the kid now.
All right, listen here.
You came to play. Dave will play. No, look, I want you to be as... Look, you want a puff of this cigar? Take a puff of this cigar.
Oh.
I know. Look, I saw you smoking cigarettes, and I know that this kid wants a cigar.
I feel like you've been on trial for worse things. Why don't you
want a puff of the cigar?
Well, better things.
Okay, I will not say that that this kid uses nicotine in any form or fashion.
Well, I have a real question. How much Call of Duty experience did you have?
Yes.
I think that's what's on all of Americans'
And how did
minds.
you unlock the AR-15, which isn't available in the game?
But I was Prestige 27 in Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Before this all happened.
Wow.
Now I'm only Prestige 6.
I don't know what that means.
I don't have a clue.
Did you rescue the princess?
I didn't rescue the princess.
Okay. Well, then,
yes, at the very end.
If I rescued the princess, she'd be right here with me.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Well, we have Dave.
That's good enough.
Can I get a tiara?
Yes.
And only a tiara.
Yeah, I'll be back with socks and a tiara.
What do you think was the most important lesson that you learned? Not hindsight 2020, you wouldn't go down there, but in all of this, what was your big takeaway besides the relief of not, of being acquitted?
My biggest takeaway is how the government can just try to push their own narrative unsuccessfully in my case, but they can push their own agenda and just try to put anybody away for defending themselves or any innocent person.
What do you think would have happened if there wasn't more footage than people could watch in a lifetime?
Steven, we wouldn't be here.
No. You think you'd be locked up?
I think I'd be in jail if there wasn't all these videos.
And that's most people.
Mm-hmm.
That's, to me, what's so scary.
Yeah, if
there was all the footage and it didn't matter anyway. That's when people say, we're divided in this country as though we need to reach across the aisle, where I go, well, look, there's all of this footage and it doesn't matter anyway. I think that you were really a line in the sand for a lot of people, for them to wake up.
Yeah, if there wasn't any of this footage, the state would have been able to push their own narrative and say what they wanted to say, and they may have got away with it.
Did you feel when the jury was deliberating that there was a good chance that they were looking almost for a guilty plea because it was taking so long?
I don't know. I don't know what happened in that deliberation room. I don't know if I'll ever know. But after the second day, I was getting nervous.
Oh, I bet you were.
There was probably one soccer mom holdout.
Yeah, probably. But
was there a Karen on the jury?
I'm not sure.
You don't have to say the type.
Hey, one second. What's going on, guys? Are we okay? Are we good? Okay, because Kyle's looking at you. I know they're walking around here, right, like the Keebler elves.
They're distracting me.
Yes, I know. They're distracting all of us as well. Come on, let this kid tell his story.
You guys are distracting me.
Let him tell his truth. You said you're burning your AR-15?
I'm having it destroyed.
Destroyed, right? Yeah, because burning it probably wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just something I don't need. I don't want it back on the street. I had to defend myself with it. I don't think it should be propped up in a museum like a lot of people think. I think it just needs to be destroyed.
Oh, they gave it back to you?
No. We're putting in a motion for
that's what it is. Okay.
For the police department to send it off to be destroyed, and I think we're going to send one of our guys, one of our people with it to make sure it is destroyed.
Okay.
Are you going to get another one?
I don't know.
You going to get some firearm?
I don't know.
He's going to get a firearm.
Well, I might have to.
Yeah. I'll get a Nerf gun.
Yeah, he might. He's gonna
because just piss off the pedophiles. That's a good way to go about it.
You might see.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
buying
like,
a Nerf gun.
I don't know if a Nerf gun with a serial child rapist. That's like a rape whistle that calls more rapists.
I'm not sure. I think so.
It's Nerf or nothing.
I haven't seen
it's not going to be nothing.
I haven't seen the ads for this Christmas. What do you want for Christmas?
What do I want for Christmas?
Yeah,
well, I got
real.
my Christmas gift, freedom.
Well, there you go.
There you go. But what do you really want for Christmas?
Yeah. Besides freedom.
Yeah, besides freedom.
Oh,
that's a good answer, Amy Grant.
Listen, I'm going to ask some questions nobody's asked yet because people want to know.
I didn't mean you. I mean him saying that he wants freedom for Christmas.
I think it's a good. Well, we're not going to have it much longer.
No.
So we might as well enjoy it while we can.
Right. So what do you have anything that you want specifically?
What do I want for Christmas? Oh. Everybody in this world to just stop fighting and unite as one instead of being politically divided. Just everybody to be together. And
well, they're kind of doing it with China.
We're going to have to move on down. I don't think that one's coming down your chimney this year.
What would I like?
Something that we could buy for you. Take a hint.
Yeah, we'll send you some.
You want to ride 2 speedboats like skis?
He'll pay for it. We can make it happen.
Yeah, at least lease them for a couple of months.
I don't. Just be with family. Eat food. Spend time with family and relax.
Yeah.
How long were you locked up?
I was in jail for 87 days.
Dang.
What was that?
Do I have you topped, Dave?
You do have me topped.
Oh.
How long were you?
Yeah. I had only been in jail like a few days at a time, and then I was locked up once in a mental hospital for 20, and then 60 maybe in a juvenile rehab for.
Yeah, different childhood.
Yeah, I wasn't like you. I wouldn't have been going there. I would have been, well, if people had drugs for sale, I would have ran.
Yes.
I would have been.
You were going through everyone's.
Trust me, if I saw the cops, I'm not running at them when I'm 18.
No, he's absolutely not. And you are running at the hospital bags. Are you going, what's in here?
Yeah, oh no, certainly I would look through it and be like, oh, cool, lithium.
He used to wait outside of the mental hospital and pop people in the head so they'd drop their bag like a piñata. He'd be like, oh, look, Vicodin, Percocet, great, and he would grab them.
Made a lot of money.
He's a degenerate. It's okay.
Degenerate.
Let me ask you this. I wanted to ask, because I saw your reaction when Binger asked, I think it was, I want to make sure I get this name right, so it was Richie McGinnis. where Binger said, you had no idea that he was reaching for Kyle's gun, or he was trying to take Kyle's gun. And Richie McGinnis said, who was called by Binger, the prosecution, said, well, he reached for his gun and said, fuck you. So I saw you start kind of trying to hide back, as intense as it was, a smirk. Do I have that about right?
Yeah. So I was like, why is he asking these questions? Like, this is what Richie was saying, and this is what I was hearing and saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's on video.
Yeah. But were you dumbfounded as to how Fluffer Boy 2004 could ask that question?
He rightly admitted it. I mean, did that give you a huge amount of relief?
That's Gage Grosskreutz. Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Oh, I thought...
No, this is the guy who was with him who... no, sorry, I always get them confused. This is...
Richard McGinnis.
Richard McGinnis. He was the one who saw the guy reach for your gun.
Yeah, the guy saw the guy reach for the gun.
So that was a big one, but I remember you smirking at that. But then, did you go... That's the moment that changed the case, when Gage Grosskreutz admitted that you only shot when he came up and aimed at you? Because that was, for everyone here, we said, whoa, when that happened live.
Well, the moments, I didn't think they had a case from the beginning when they started off their opening statements with lying to the entire jury.
Right.
And then putting on a witness, Dominic, who helped me.
Yeah, I thought the prosecutor was your lawyer.
Yes, that's what we thought at first. We were confused.
He's really bad at this.
And my attorneys are great. Mark Richards, Corey Shrofsky, and Natalie Wisco. They're great attorneys, phenomenal. I don't think I would have been able to get off without them.
Yeah. Even though you say you know that they didn't have a case, the prosecution, and they were lying, but it still must be in the back of your mind that, they can railroad you if they want.
Yep, 100%. And then with the Gage testimony, Attorney Shrofsky said it wasn't until you chased him down, lunged at him, went for his gun, and pointed a gun at him till he shot you, correct? And then he said yes, and that's when you see me have a huge sigh of like...
Did you feel like, okay, pretty confident after that at least I won't be convicted on like the severe murder charges they were trying to press? Did you feel like, okay, I'm out of the woods? The moment that happened, there was a shift in your attitude?
Not really. I stayed optimistic the entire trial, but it was more like, at least he's honest.
Right. Or high.
Yeah.
Most likely the latter.
Yeah, most likely the latter. And I want to go two more questions on Gage Grosskreutz, who's beautiful and brave. He then went on Good Morning America and other shows to talk about cultural appropriation of spacers. I'm surprised he doesn't have ringlets on his neck.
I'm surprised his name was Gage and he had ear gauges.
I just thought it was a pro wrestler name. But then he went on Good Morning America, I believe, with, is it Michael Strahan?
Yeah, and then he goes on Good Morning America and just lies about his...
He said the exact opposite of his testimony because he's not under oath.
Well, yeah, he can say whatever he wants.
And I think it's like he just lied. I think there's... I can't think of the name, but he perjured himself or something?
He perjured himself, yeah.
Yeah, he perjured himself, and I'm like...
Yeah.
Just
if you
tell
want
the
to become
truth.
a lawyer, you might need to learn those terms.
Well, he said on the stand, I believe, that he said, I'm going to effing kill you, right?
No, Gage Grosskreutz said on the stand that he pointed his gun at Kyle.
Right.
Yeah, that was the guy. He admitted that he himself, in the first person, aimed a gun at you.
And then he lied in all of his police reports. He said he was going to help me because he saw me being attacked.
Right.
And then he said...
A weird way to help.
Are these are the reports where he failed to mention that he had a gun?
These are the reports where he doesn't mention that he has a gun. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, you would think.
Like,
oh, and by the way,
he remembered all these details.
It's only a homicide trial.
Yeah.
You may want to include that you had a gun.
He included a ton of details. I mean, he remembered if you were wearing boxers or briefs, but he didn't remember that he had a Glock 27. I thought it was odd.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, and he drove farther. That was amazing.
Yes.
The map. It's like he's he lives 35 miles farther than you.
You know, he didn't know. The guy just someone. I'm like, can someone get this guy an old VHS of Dora the Explorer? Get the map song up here. He has no clue. That's another thing where people thought you went into this foreign city that you had connections with.
Kenosha was my community. My dad lived in Kenosha. My best friend lived in Kenosha.
Yeah.
And that was just my community. I hung out there every day. I spent more time in Kenosha than I did in Illinois. And for that whole state line crossing stuff, I worked in Kenosha, and I had to cross multiple state lines to get here, Stephen.
Yeah. Well, especially people don't understand who don't live in the Midwest. You know, I was born in Michigan, and my wife was raised there. You know, you're driving we would do that drive all the time from Michigan to Chicago.
My mom grew up in Michigan.
Oh, where did she grow up?
You know where Wellston is?
No, do you?
Is it northern? Northern?
I have no idea.
By Cadillac.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, Cadillac, up in northern Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful area. Well, he's a Detroiter too, and I mean, Ohio, Michigan,
right there.
Indiana.
I can go to another
Illinois.
country.
So is Detroit really Midwest though?
People argue about that.
Yeah.
They do. Like
It's more RoboCop than Midwest.
Yeah.
It's more apocalyptic.
Yeah.
It's no, I love Detroit, but I always considered it like north. Really, it's basically Canada. It's like right on the
Effectively.
fringe.
Yeah, it is different from
across the
Wisconsin.
border.
Yeah.
You can have a cigarette there. I believe it's 19
Oh,
or 18. You're still
In Canada?
yeah, right.
Well, you can drink. I don't know if you can have a cigarette.
Oh, I don't know what the rules are.
Don't
there.
get him in trouble
You're-
on
Dave,
this
you're
show.
trying to get me in trouble.
Well, you just
This
said. Well,
guy-
first off,
this
you
Canadian over here.
yeah, you want. So you just said perjury. You now are saying because you wanted to be a nurse. I remember reading that and being surprised.
Yeah.
And I said, you
All
know
the
what?
names.
Go and be a nurse, but please make sure that you never have to work again. As far as the media, pull a Nick Sandman. This is what I was thinking. You don't have to answer that.
What is with that though? Where you're going into a school, correct? And
At college. I mean,
yeah,
at college.
You are in college now.
Yep.
Yeah. But he's switching. He wants to become a lawyer. That's what I was going to ask him next.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But there was like people protesting that. Is that true?
That is correct.
Okay. What college? What was it?
That at Arizona State University.
Is that where you're going?
Yes, that's where I'm a
you are
student
gonna
at.
get herpes, my friend.
Just don't show up to the wrestling meet. The last one I
Yeah.
had concussion was I believe an Arizona
HPVU.
State wrestler. He's super-
Yeah, next video, Steven, is going to be me and you wrestling.
Oh, geez. Did you wrestle?
Yeah, I'd wrestled for a little bit in high school.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, then
I mean, middle school.
okay.
So are you still there though? Is it just online? I would assume.
Yeah, it's online. I took a compassionate withdrawal from my classes. My professors offered it, and then a week later they gave me a compassionate withdrawal, which thank you for that. But then they came out with the statement saying, "Oh no, he's not enrolled at ASU anymore." I'm like, I'm enrolled. I'm just not in any classes. I'm admitted. I have a student portfolio.
Right.
So even
They're
when
like,
you're
we are
innocent,
taking his checks.
even when you're innocent, that's something. Have you learned here? Even if you're innocent, the court of public opinion is very different. Have you?
Yeah.
And it's not. There weren't even a lot of protesters there.
No.
It was a very, very small amount.
Yeah.
And then people are just like, let him get an education.
Right.
And I'm like, yes, that's what I want to do. I want to go to law school. I'm going to ASU in the spring in person. I want to do my 4-year undergrad there before I take the LSAT and go do my 3 years of law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully before you finish, you own Don Lemon's house. But you
Yeah.
switched from nursing to law. Is that because of the? I heard you mention prosecutorial misconduct.
Yes.
You want to be a defense attorney.
I do. I want to be a criminal defense attorney.
Okay.
I think you're going to do very well.
I'm a big on no matter who the person is. I believe everybody deserves fair and good legal representation.
Like OJ.
So Joan Demetris, she selected the O.J. Simpson jury. She helped select my jury. She's a phenomenal jury consultant. She's more than that for us, though. She was a rock for my mom, somebody my mom can lean on and hold during this entire ordeal.
Yeah, how is she doing?
I remember watching that.
Yeah, that looks sad.
I mean,
It
there were
was-
3 times that I've cried on this show or come close to it.
On
was
air.
When my on air. When Hopper died, and I had to talk about it. When David Dorn, we watched that footage, and we all about lost it when you were crying on the stand. It was really, really hard for all of us. One of the hardest things was me keeping my composure, and then seeing your mom. How has she been doing now? Is she relieved?
She's relieved. She's doing so much better. I think she's a little mad at me right now, but that's okay.
Why is she mad? Because still smoking cigarettes?
No, she doesn't smoke anymore.
No, you. Is she mad because you're smoking the cigarettes?
Yes.
No, what is she mad? What is she mad at?
Press tour?
I think I left her on red or something.
You left what?
I think I left my mom on red this morning or something.
On red?
I didn't reply back to her.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Oh.
I don't know about your Call of Duty prestige terms, texting.
You don't play Call of Duty, Steven?
No, I'm married and have twins.
You have twins.
Yep, just
just
had
had
twins. And I didn't play Call of Duty before.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Both boys or both?
One boy, one girl.
Nice.
So identical?
Yeah, I don't.
They look just like
I don't
Steven.
fully understand. the
Identical
fraternal-
beard and everything.
He looks like me. He does when he smiles. He has, he has the weak jaw, unfortunately, and a little upturned nose. And she looks, thank goodness, more like her mother. We didn't want one of those Billy Joel daughter situations going around where she comes out. Could look like her mom, but she looks like me.
Yeah, a monster would call them a butterface, and I'm not that person.
Yes, a monster. Could have looked like Christy Brinkley, daughter Joel.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
He came out looking like the Piano Man. So I'm glad. So your mom is doing better.
Yep, same with my sisters. They're doing good. They're hanging out at home, relaxing. They may be going on vacation sometime. But they're just hanging out with friends, catching up on everything we missed because we all had to put they had to, thank you to them, they had to put their lives on hold for all of this.
Are they going through any sort of therapy or counseling since this? Because I would imagine it's not, I don't want to say as traumatic for them, but in a different way.
Definitely, yeah.
Because you're in it, but for them, there's also the trauma of feeling completely helpless.
Yeah, but they've been so helpful to this all, especially my mom. She's been really good through this entire thing.
Yeah.
That was really hard to watch because you're watching it live on the show, and to be honest, I had listened to so much rhetoric on the news that it said he was a white supremacist. There's almost this view that you went down there and like
I'm clean, Dave.
What?
Tell him what you thought before you were on the show.
I did. I thought that he was.
He thought you were what the media told, and then he was on this show.
Because all I had heard was CNN going, "He's a white supremacist." Like I figured you went down there in like a MAGA hat and were like, they wanted you to believe that you were hunting people. So I watched the trial going into it because we started covering it, and it was almost immediate where I'm like, wait, this is everything I've heard so far. Just in the one attorney's opening statements. Shows that you weren't anything that they painted you.
I can't tell you how many people, when I would talk with them in person, would say, wait, the people he shot were white guys?
Yeah.
People didn't know after you were acquitted that you had shot 3 white guys.
And that's the thing. People don't do their research. I urge anybody to go back and watch the trial. I'm sure Steven will link it in the description.
Yes, we'll link it. We'll have all the references, yeah.
Yeah, we have to.
So anybody, if you don't know the facts, just go back and watch the trial. Spend like 2.5 weeks watching it. And just learn the facts of the case, and then make up your opinion after.
What do you think is the most, if people have to come away with 1 or 2, the most important key facts that the public perception about which is wrong? What do you think is the key fact that people think, or the misperception that people have that is most pervasive?
That I didn't cross state lines, and that rifle I was carrying was 100% legal for me to carry.
Yeah. Dude, that is the one that I keep having to tell people as well. Yeah. I think you're right. I think that is the #1 thing that is completely
because I saw an article today where they're like, he crossed state lines and carried an illegal firearm, and I think it was on an article that said I was in self-defense, but they said I crossed state lines and my firearm was illegal.
Right. Why does that one bother you more than the idea of white supremacist? Why is that the one that sticks in your craw so much?
That's the one I hear the most. Okay. That, and again, on the white supremacist stuff, it's just false.
Right.
Yeah, it's not white supremacist.
Well, that was the first charge dismissed, too.
The gun charge,
the firearm charge. Because from the beginning, I said, I don't think he's going to get. Quarter Black disagreed with me. He was like, I don't know, I think they're going to railroad this kid. I said, I genuinely believe that he will be acquitted because of how murky, to be fair, some lawyers can, use the legalese of the firearm laws in Wisconsin. I thought maybe they might need to try and make an example of this and get him on some kind of a firearms charge, but that doesn't mean that it's right. When they dismissed that one, I thought, okay, we're cooking with gas now. Did you feel that momentum shift?
No, not really. I didn't think, in my opinion, I don't think the gun had any bearing on the right to self-defense.
Right.
At all, so I wasn't really worried.
But I mean, more
that.
So on seeing it like, okay, there might be some objectivity here. You know what I mean? Because that was something that everyone said, and it was dismissed, right? The people in charge said, no, we're not going to play that game.
Well, and even the footage they had to show, because so many people were like, oh, you were pointing it at people, this and that. Like, all the footage showed that you weren't.
Yeah, I didn't point my firearm at anybody who wasn't attacking me.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that was honestly amazing. I know I wouldn't have been so composed. I want to ask you about that. I don't know if you can answer this. You can always tell me if you can't, because Gage said that he used the term re-racked your gun. So, and this was something that it came from his Twitter, by the way, to the point where when we were trying to get the key details from the case, we were wrong. We issued a correction saying he doesn't appear that Kyle actually did that, but it was everywhere, and it stemmed from Gage's Twitter. It did not happen.
So I never pulled the charging handle back. I never went through. I never pulled that, but I did hit the forward assist to close the ejection port, which was open a little bit.
Okay. And was that training, too, that you Did you have firearms training before?
No,
No.
I knew. I don't know much about firearms, but I knew that the forward assist will close the bolt if it's a little bit open.
Right.
Beginner's luck.
Yeah. For crying out loud, that was unbelievably quick. And
yeah, I mean, seriously, dude, that shows your adrenaline and how afraid you were. I mean, and when you did break down on the stand, I do have this question because I know that was hard, and if you don't want to relive it, just say so. But aren't you bothered by the fact that immediately people were like, "Oh, he's faking"? Like, because what, you're just Meryl Streep all of a sudden, and you can do the greatest acting I've ever.
He wasn't sleeping with Harvey Weinstein. Oh, the Oscars, yes.
And like, look, it took everything I had. I had an anxiety attack. I bet you did. I had a PTSD episode on the stand.
You're going to.
That's what I said when it happened. People saying he was faking. I said I've had panic attacks, and now have you had panic attacks before that?
Yeah, when I was in jail, I had quite a few panic attacks.
Oh, I bet.
Was that the first time you experienced panic attacks?
Since after last time I was before the trial was in jail.
Okay.
And then I learned how to control it with like tactical breathing.
But your first panic attack was in jail. Had you ever experienced panic attacks before that? Before jail?
No.
So I've had them
hyperventilated.
a handful of times in my life. I can count on one hand. And it bothers me when people go, "Oh my gosh, I was so anxious, I had a panic attack." I go, "No, you don't know what that is. It's different. It's not social anxiety that you fix with your weed. It's a physiological response." And we were live. I remember saying, "He's having a panic attack."
And it just makes it. It's very upsetting because I don't care what people say. I've longed to live past that.
Yeah.
But I'm like. Yeah. It took everything I had to fight back because I didn't want to cry on national TV.
Well, that's the hardest part about a panic attack, is I get them too, is the more you're trying to stop it,
they get worse.
It exacerbates it. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, and respectfully, I told people, look, if he was going to fake cry, he wouldn't fake ugly cry.
Yeah, right?
I mean,
true.
It wasn't a distinguished cry. It wasn't like a lone, Native American tear looking at a trash bag in the wind. It was a
Clint Eastwood.
You didn't look like the most dashing suitor while that was happening. And
Come on, Steven, I thought it looked good.
Yeah, you're doing it in the mirror beforehand.
Yes, yeah.
Great, good. I'm going to be aces. No, I when we were watching it live, remember we said that, and then and I said, "Watch, they're going to say that he's faking."
Oh, I knew right away.
And that just, I think we all watched. We felt like you were a little brother. Honestly, everyone here, this was the most. We had taken this more personally than anything else because. We have to be careful too, because if we try and raise, that's a problem for you. If we try and raise money for you, if we try and I'd been on the phone with my lawyer, what can we do? And he said the best thing you can do is cover this accurately from the get-go. But I know that we had reached out to you behind the scenes and wanted to keep a healthy distance, because I'm sure you have every Tom, Dick, and Harry now knocking on your door, offering you internships or probably broadcast or book deals.
I'm not interested in any internships. Respectfully, no.
Yeah. What about book deals?
I don't know. There
have been offers, right?
I don't think so, but I'll see what the future holds.
Children's book?
When you were in jail?
So we'll do a coloring book.
A pop out?
Yeah, we'll do a coloring book.
You'll just pop out like, surprise, bitch!
That's it. It's one page.
Yeah, it's just one page. Just one page about trigger control.
What did you read in jail? I'm curious about that.
I read the entire Maze Runner series. I read so much in jail.
Yeah.
I've never read so much in my life. I didn't have my phone.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing.
No.
No? I thought you were going to be like, I learned a lot about myself. Like, no, I wanted to be TikToking.
Yeah, well, I wanted to be posting on 4 Doors More Horrors.
Yeah, that was right. That was brought up. That was your social.
Yeah, I don't see how being hilarious is a problem.
Guilty.
Yeah, done.
And not to be the elephant in the room, the only thing hilarious is Dave Scott hanging out.
What is with
Dave? I'm just kidding, Dave.
Shots fired, huh?
That was a bad joke.
He's going to play Santa next week. He's getting in character.
No, I eat a lot of fish.
Yes. Was it bluegill?
It was bluegill, yes.
Bluegill. We have to try that bluegill.
I don't know if I've eaten bluegill.
We're from Michigan, where everything is whitefish. And it's fine, but like a lot of old.
But you guys have like salmon there and everything.
Yeah, we do. But for some reason, they bring out the white fish first, and it smells like how fish dying on the beach does. Yeah, perch. Remember at the what's that place where the Chelsea Cafe? They have good perch.
You know what's really good? Mahi.
Mahi is good.
Mahi is one of my favorite fish.
It's a very lean fish. You ever have there's a place in Manhattan Beach. I think it's a franchise.
Never been to Manhattan.
And they do grilled mahi.
Really?
You've never been to Manhattan?
No.
Good. Don't
go. Manhattan Beach.
Oh.
Yeah, Manhattan Beach, California.
Oh, yeah.
I've only been
One
to
is a crap
California
hole.
once.
One used to be a white supremacist haven.
Which one?
Yeah, well, I guess I repeat myself. And now you got me off track. Sorry.
I'm sorry. We were talking about my fat ass eating fish.
Yes. Well, he was the one who brought up your fat ass eating fish.
Look, I thought I wore something slimming.
You know what?
It's okay. Me and you both, Dave.
You don't
I know.
need
You
an
and I,
AR-15.
you and I should go get some fish together.
Let's do it.
Kyle and I have perfect bodies. Short, stout.
You don't need
Look good in
an AR-15
look good on the stand.
to hurt with your words, Kyle. Let that be a lesson to you. Dave has feelings too.
I don't have many.
Not many.
I've pretty much.
They were damaged from all the years of drugs. So, you read the Maze Runner series.
But I'm curious, like, were you reading any law books? I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Like,
No, they didn't have any law books. And
they're like, we don't want you to. We don't want you to figure out how to get out of this.
That's smart. That's actually smart. I would not allow any prisoners access to law books for the same reason I don't want them to have access to the gym. Yeah, let's send these violent criminals stronger into society than they were before. Never got it.
I'll have to disagree with you on that one, Stephen. I believe everybody has a right to exercise because working out is a huge stress reliever, and it's something else to focus on. And reading law books, I think you should be able to know the law if you're going through a criminal proceeding.
Right, but I'm just saying, if someone's on death row, there's nothing wrong with a nice yoga DVD.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to be doing he doesn't need to be doing heavy bench press.
Well, they don't have weights. I mean, you weren't in prison.
I think they have they didn't have a gym at the juvenile place, but I don't think they have any weights. It's just push-ups and sit-ups and stuff. And
how was your treatment?
Yeah,
no, they were very professional and nice to me.
The guards?
Yeah.
What about the
kids?
Inmates?
The kids at the juvenile center, they didn't like me at first. They would be like, oh, ugh. And then
I'm sure it was quite a bit more severe than that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine if I went into jail and they were barking through the bars, ugh, gross. I'd be like, I got off easy.
Oh yeah.
What did they really like? They didn't like you. What kind of things would they do? How would they mess with you?
Well, they wouldn't mess with me at all, but they just would they just didn't like me until they got to know me, and then I'm like a king at spades now, so I'd run the spades table.
Oh.
So
thank God that's what you meant.
Yeah. I was gonna, yes. You'd run this. What is this?
Dave, what were you doing in jail?
Yeah. What's spades? Is that a game that I don't?
It's a game. You don't know spades?
You don't know what spades are?
No.
It's a card game.
I had a legendary Uno run for 4 years that my dad, who
this man's been nowhere near a jail.
No, nowhere near a jail. I actually almost got sent to jail for jumping a metro turnstile in Montreal. Turns out it was a serious, I don't know, a different level of misdemeanor or felony.
Wow.
The week before, and they had changed the law.
What a lame story. You should never tell it again.
I know, I should never tell it again. This went nowhere. But
I think it's fun.
I had an Uno run that you can talk with after this with Darren about, Pops Crowder. They thought I was cheating. So that's the only card game I played, because once I had a 4-year run, I just retired on top like Rocky Marciano.
You were cheating, weren't you, Steven?
Hand to God, I was not cheating. I don't know what it was. For 4 years, undefeated. And we would play all the time. Oh. But I never played spades because, when you find what you're good, I just played Uno. So what is spades? How is that different?
Do you know euchre?
No.
Okay, maybe that is just a Michigan thing.
No, that's Youper. He's from Wisconsin.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's right. No, sorry, it's still Michigan. Wisconsin wants it, but
did we win a war for that?
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
I don't know why it's there.
Wisconsin
it's not even
Civil War.
Part of Wisconsin or Michigan, really. They're all in Packers jackets.
Yeah. Do you have? This is a traumatic experience, right? We're obviously making light of it because that's sometimes the way to process it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only way to process it. Is humor.
Do you have PTSD? Do you think?
Yeah, my shrink said I did, but it took me a while to believe that.
Why didn't you believe the shrink?
Because I'm like, no, I'm fine, I'm normal. My ego got the best of me, apparently.
Yeah, you're just like, water off an AR-15's back.
Well, I mean, I imagine you're in therapy, I would imagine.
Yeah,
and you're gonna you have PTSD, I would assume.
Yeah.
Do you have recurring dreams about it?
I have nightmares occasionally. They definitely have slowed down over the past couple of weeks, but
good.
Do you have what they would call memory avoidance?
Sometimes, but not a lot.
Okay.
I stare off into space a lot.
Yeah. Well, you're
18.
You're 18. Yeah. You're probably thinking about girls like he thinks about Smack.
No, I'm thinking about you, Stephen.
Well, thank you. Whoa, jeez. It wouldn't be so uncomfortable if you weren't just denigrating his physique.
He wasn't denigrating.
He was Dave's not my type. Steven, where's the assless chaps? I saw the ball gags in the costume.
He was saying we match in physique because we both eat a lot of fish.
All right. Well, then I guess I don't know who you want to date.
It comes as a couple.
Yes, exactly. It's a couple.
It's a pig on a spit. Let's make this weird.
So you do have PTSD. Yeah.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I would say, of course, I didn't want to, diagnose you like
No,
a lot of
but I
people on
mean,
air.
I think it's just being honest.
So you have, like Pierce Morgan or something, but your psychiatrist said that. What are you doing to deal with that?
Talking to my shrink, talking about it with her really helps. She's a very smart lady. Talking to the people in my circle, such as Dave, LT, Kenny, TC, the people who have been with me from the beginning.
You have a lot of friends that got your back.
Yeah.
Good.
More than friends. They're mentors. They've taught me so much throughout this. I've grown so much because of them. They're just amazing. Like, Dave helped me with so much. Same with LT and Kenny.
Come on, we just met.
Cool Dave.
You're not that helpful.
Me?
Cool Dave, not you, Dave.
Less cool Dave.
So that's good. You have a strong support system.
Yes.
Okay.
That's good.
That's
man.
important.
It's very important. When it seems, if you have family and friends that have always been on your side and been there, it's got to help kind of take away the darkness that was being shadowed, was being given.
I know you said that it wasn't something that should be celebrated.
That is correct.
But you don't feel guilt for what you had to do.
No. I knew I defended myself, and I just don't think it's something to be celebrated out. At the end of the day, 2 lives were lost, and I may have been attacked, but it's not something to celebrate.
I don't think it's something to celebrate. And I asked that because if you said that you did, this would be an intervention that you should not feel any guilt. And I know sometimes there's misplaced guilt when there's a traumatic event.
Well, that's when somebody does the right thing.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I think for the most part.
But
soldiers.
It's not something to be. I understand what you're saying, to be celebrated. But and what I talked about on air is you were there trying to do the right thing. That's why I never took a step back. Like, he shouldn't have been there. No, I understand why you were there, and I actually commend you for being there because you were there for a long time, cleaning up and helping. You weren't one of these people. And I'm saying this. Look, and you're gonna have to take this praise for a second. You just let me give him this praise. You weren't there taking and harming lives like the people who attacked you. They all, and this is relevant, you didn't know it at the time, but they all spent a lifetime harming other people. You have not. You were there to help, and I don't think it was wrong for you to be there, and I think it's important that, even though you don't think it's something to be celebrated, and I understand the sentiment, I certainly celebrate that occurred rather than the alternative, because I know that if you hadn't defended yourself, which is what the left has excoriated you for, you'd be dead. You'd be dead. And that's not justice.
At all.
We're really glad. There are a lot of people. I just want you to know, like, for us, we're just really glad that you are not dead and you're not locked up. It really does. Like, I've never had a more vested interest. I tell people I'm not unbiased. It was really, really, I mean, I've had conversations with my wife about how heavy it was on my heart. I know you don't celebrate the loss of life, but I celebrate that you're still alive and you did what you had to do. So, sorry. I know I didn't want to get all emotional. Call him a fat son of a bitch again. Let's do
it's fine. Whatever you want to get out of this.
Has anyone told you that though? Have people told, like, I know that you have a lot of people going like, hey, we want you to appear on this show, and early on people are saying, get him on the show. We reached out and we never pushed it because you don't owe anyone anything. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Do you really know that? Okay.
Because are you going to do the Robin Williams "Not Your Fault" scene?
It's hey Kyle, it's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault, boy. It's not your fault. No, you don't owe anyone anything, and it's really easy to get sucked into this industry.
By far,
conservatives asking more of you because they admire you. Just, I hope you don't let that happen.
Well, I think the best thing you can do, I mean, it always sounds strange, but, the best revenge is living your best life. And if you're going to college and you want to do something and spin this into the most positive thing you can do something amazing with your life. And I think it's good that you have the opportunity to do that because there's been so many people that have been in your position that don't have that option. And there's been people, obviously falsely incarcerated, white or black, any 100%. Of that,
Yeah.
And it just comes down to the fact that you yourself, because you were quick enough, you get the second chance. I'm sure you look at life, and I shouldn't call it a second chance that you did something wrong, but I just mean like you got through something that most people I don't think could handle. And you should be proud of yourself for that. And I just think that it's good you go to school, do what you can, and, just
become a lawyer. I'll have you as my first client, Dave.
Yes.
Deal.
Yeah, well, undoubtedly he will need one. And,
I will.
Expect to do it pro bono.
My next DUI, I don't think you can get me off.
Yeah, no. Those dilaudits don't come cheap.
No, I'm going to at least 15 years.
Do you feel stronger from it?
I feel like it's helped me grow as a person. I've learned so much, especially from like Dave and LT. They've taught me so much. I'm the person I am today because of them.
Yeah. What was it like for you to see people like, I know you already had a message for LeBron James, but people like Batista and these celebrities.
It was a good message.
Were, yeah, it was a good message. Yeah. I like the message. But these other celebrities who, even after you were acquitted, continuing to, I mean, really commit libel and slander a lot of them.
Batista said something?
Didn't he? Or I don't. He said something else.
I don't know if Batista did. I know.
Because I'm going to say, I love WWE, and I was a big Batista fan.
Really? You love WWE?
Like, my entire life. Like, well, I don't watch it anymore.
Well, he said a lot of stupid things, so I could be mixing up stupid celebrities saying stupid things. I'm pretty sure he did say something. More so about this is a state of affairs in the United States. And they turned it all into a racial thing, which is what's so odd about this. How do you think, I think I know the answer, but I want to get your perspective. How do you think this was turned, or why do you think this was turned completely falsely into a racial issue?
Well, people just want to push their own agenda on a case that has nothing to do with race. This is a case about self-defense, not politics, not about race, not what you believe in. It's about the right to defend yourself.
But why do you think that it became that narrative in the public eye?
They wanted to push their own agenda, and I think it was them trying to come after the guns.
Yeah. What does it do, or how do you react when people use the term vigilante?
Look, I didn't know what a vigilante was August 25th, and I wasn't a vigilante, and like I still don't even know what a vigilante is. I'm not a vigilante.
It's an old guy with a mustache who goes up with a sock with rolled up quarters and hits guys in the subway. This is Death Wish.
Dave?
Yeah, no, he knows.
Listen,
that is the definition.
I've got some questions.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's Dave on a subway with a blackjack. Hey, you punk.
I go out as fat man at night.
Well, you roll.
I hesitate to stop crime, and I usually just let it go.
Right, yeah. Between cries, he puts his legs up like the black kid and Hook and yells bangarang. And
somebody's robbing a 7-Eleven. I'm like, I'm just here for the jerky.
Yes, exactly. Is it slushy day?
Yeah, I thought they were free.
Yeah, well, they are sometimes.
You are.
One day a year. One of my favorite days a year.
It really is free.
And then I realized I can afford Slurpees on any given
Really,
day.
the amount of time you spend in line to save $1 is not worth it. You should just go every other day.
I'll tell a story later.
Remember that later in life,
on
Kyle.
Club about free ice cream day at Ben & Jerry's when I was on a date. It did not go well. Are you dating?
Oh, no, I am not dating. I am very single. My DMs are open.
Oh, geez.
Look at that. I was going to say, did you get fan mail from women? You had to.
Yeah, I got quite a few fan mail.
What was the weirdest one you got?
I had a mom trying to set me up with her daughter.
A mom trying to set you up with her daughter?
Yeah.
Was the daughter good looking?
I don't know. I didn't do a check or look at anything.
Why not? What's wrong with you? What are you, asexual? It's okay.
No, but
hey man, everybody's gay sometimes.
Only for you, Stephen.
Okay, just Tuesdays. What's today?
No, you missed it by that much.
I know. But you had to get some weird fan mail, right? I mean, you had
interesting, but all the support mail from everybody just meant so much.
Who was the most famous person that supported you? Trump?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Did you get a few though? Did you get like a few like messages or letters from people that were? You don't have to say their names or anything.
I'm trying to think. I got a book from an author.
Gary Busey.
No.
Well, he sends those to everyone.
Which author? Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name. I have the book in my bag, in my suitcase.
Well, that's obviously not the most famous. If you have to find the name, it's either a token, or it's either a J.K. Rowling, or it's not a star.
It's the Turner Diaries.
I don't know.
So probably Trump.
Yeah, maybe. Trump was probably the most famous.
Was it crazy meeting him?
Yeah, it was very interesting. He just wanted to know about me and talk about me. We didn't talk about politics or anything. We just talked about who I am as a person, and he asked questions, and he talked with me and my mom.
Well, you don't seem like a political person.
I don't know politics.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm not a political person.
But you watch this show every now and then.
This is more of like a comedy show. Like, you get to make fun of Dave.
Yeah.
He gets it. Yeah. Well, thank you. Was that the first time that President Trump was it the time that we saw when you were in Mar-a-Lago, or had he reached out personally before that?
Trump reached out and wanted to meet us, so we met. I'm not going to turn down a meeting with the former president, so.
And you wouldn't turn down a meeting with the former vice president, Joe
No,
Biden?
I wouldn't turn down a meeting with President Biden at all. If he reached out, and I'd be happy to tell him my side of the story of what happened. Anybody who wants to know what happened.
Well, that would be an important and interesting conversation. I mean, until he nodded off 48 times and shit his pants.
Yes.
But, I mean, the beginning of it would probably be really good for the U.S.
Like the first minute and a half?
Easy.
Yeah.
And he came 4 hours late?
Yes.
Because they had to load him up like Mr. Burns.
Because Putin was riding around with him on his shoulders, chicken fighting Kamala and Willie Brown. Sorry, this is.
I'm sorry, we do this thing.
Yeah, we're silly. We like to have a laugh.
A good laugh.
So you're open to dating.
I am very open.
So maybe that's
dating.
what you want for Christmas.
That's what I want for Christmas.
A nice
yes.
dame. What are you looking for in a woman?
Yes, yes.
Tracts of land.
Tracts of land.
Yeah. No, what are you looking for in a woman?
You know, some person that just wants to like date me for who I am. And what I'm looking for in a woman is I like a girl with a little bit of butt.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Slim waist, big tits, big boobs, big boobs.
No, dude, you're a guy. Let people get mad at that.
Yeah, let people get
every guy in the
like
world's a
big butts,
hypocrite.
so, you know,
he cannot
back
lie.
into a racial issue.
No other brother can deny.
Oh boy, I'll give you a
I got a
shovel.
question.
Dig that hole deeper there, Kyle.
I was helping. I was doing Two Live Crew.
That's a good thing.
What was your first meal outside of jail when you got to eat something you
I
wanted?
had 50 chicken nuggets.
Did you really?
And I ate about 38 of them.
So so jail was a time warp where you exited a 9-year-old. Chicken nuggets? What, were fish sticks not available?
Hey,
Did you go get prime rib or something?
They gave him a crown that said,
I wanted
innocent.
McDonald's chicken nuggets with sweet and sour sauce, and Dave came through and got chicken nuggets, and that's how I knew this guy's a good.
This
dude.
guy is a guy you
And
that is-
I turned out I was right. He's been with me ever since, and
Fine meal.
he did miss the McFlurry, but that's okay.
Well,
Dave,
half the
you know,
time,
I gotta say,
their
it's-
McFlurry machine is broken.
Yeah,
I
Dave,
say it's
know you're watching
forgivable.
this.
I don't know if you have to call it okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Thank you so much for the chicken nuggets, Dave. I owe you one.
How do you get 50? Do they sell them in 50?
Yeah.
You just have to buy a bunch of them.
Well, so you have to buy 2 20s and a 10?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, good luck getting that right in this pandemic
Well,
employment.
you could even you can even buy 320s.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he
They'll
wants
let
50.
you buy anything.
Did you buy 60 and give Dave 10? Or did you buy
I don't
50
think
on
so.
the dot?
He asked for one, and you were like, "Nah."
I was not sharing my chicken nuggets.
There's no reason you didn't.
Oh, looks like you're going back to jail.
I don't know why I like to ask that, but there's always got to be something that makes you happy instantly, and I assume it was food, right?
Food, yes, I love
Yeah.
it. Explain, Dave. I
Dude,
can tell
we
you
know.
love
That's
food
why
too,
I
but-
know.
Good
That's
Lord.
why I asked about the meal.
Crying out loud. He's not the other prosecutor who looked like Mojo
Well.
from Marvel, for crying out loud.
He's saying I had a gut. He didn't say I was a.
Yeah, he didn't say that you were a house.
Yeah, he didn't say.
Hey, Dave doesn't
didn't say I was
move.
going to
Yeah.
lose both my.
When he was
feet
there,
in
they had to have
next
the
year.
prosecutor's desk stapled.
What was in his glass? Insulin.
Yes. It was just duck fat. Could you see people take the stand when he was, like, did you have to look around him? It must have crossed your mind, like, this guy, he's not going to have the energy to prosecute this long.
Yeah, you got to be thinking there might be another lawyer.
Sub in.
Yeah. Like a hockey shift.
you have the right to remain silent.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit. So, what were you guys' thoughts when Binger violated my Fifth Amendment rights? I want to hear from you guys on this.
I thought, what a dick.
Really?
I thought it was incredible, and so many people got mad at the judge, but I was very, very happy that he pointed out that you had every right to do that, and I think that made you look a lot classier, just the fact that you were doing that anyway.
Yeah.
I think you let the system work, you were trying to let your lawyers do their job, you weren't doing a bunch of interviews, you weren't doing any, you were letting the system work. And the fact that he was trying to demonize you for that, I found to be pathetic.
And I think it was so clear that he was trying to score political points when you took the stand.
One was such
So in other words, you're waiting until you can take the stand to say it accurately, and then he's saying, "Yeah, but before you put what were you about to say?"
So the funny thing is, as soon as everybody was in shock when I got called to the stand, I don't know what you guys were thinking.
I was surprised. I was going to ask you why you did that.
I wanted to tell my story because I have nothing to hide.
Yeah, because you know what? It wasn't a murder trial. It was a self-defense trial.
Right.
And
But did
people
your
don't
lawyers-
take the stand in a murder trial.
But did your lawyers advise against it at first?
No. I told them I want to take the stand, and they agreed with me. And I was like, I want to tell my story.
But you were about to say something about. I was saying that it was clear he was trying to score political points, talking about you exercising your fifth when you took the stand, and you were about to say something.
So the funny thing is, right before, everybody was in shock in the room, and my lawyer was like, "We now call Kyle Rittenhouse to the stand," and I'm like, "Let's do this, game day." And then we get up there, and the jury gets sent out, and then after that, you see ADA Binger just sprinting as fast as you can for like the Flash to get that giant notepad he's been wanting to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had me on the stand for several hours. Like, I've never.
Yeah.
That was long. I was getting worn out by the end. I'm sure you guys were.
That's a tactic they try and use, just wear you down. I mean, fatigue makes cowards of all men.
Well, it's why any time you're being questioned for anything, it's just see how long you can go until you change your story, and which shows when you never did that you're telling the truth.
And that's the thing. Like, he kept asking me leading questions and repeating. He kept asking different questions in different ways, and I'm like, look, my story's the same. Like, I was just getting irritated towards the end. I don't know if you could tell.
I thought you were incredibly composed. Honestly, I thought if anything, you were getting a little more mechanical, just because I could see that you sort of realized, okay, I see what he's doing here. He's reframing the same question. Is that how you felt? You saw the curveballs coming?
Yeah, I noticed like he was like asking me these questions in different ways, trying to get me to answer differently, and I was just like, no, like I was frustrated a lot because he asked about my Call of Duty, he asked about Four Doors More Horrors, and then he asked about the fire, and I'm
every
like,
teenager,
it was a fire.
Yeah.
So I was just getting irritated.
I was like, was it hot?
Yes.
No, it was cold.
Yeah.
Would you say it was more of a red flame, like at the tip, or the center of the blue flame, like a torchlight?
Yeah.
You know,
Steven,
like that's a good question. The fire, it was like
all like over a car lot,
orange color. It was inside the Duramax, and like there was some smoke. It was going up.
Not to mention the dumpster fire they tried to push into.
And then there was a dumpster fire. There were some fires. It was a little bit brighter than that orange towards the coals.
Well, that's electric, and we know that they wouldn't have been able to afford that. So my question is, no one has been prosecuted as far as like actually like Gage Grosskreutz for aiming a gun at you. In other words, if you were justified in self-defense, right? People who committed these, I mean, they committed arson. People who committed serious, battery, assault. Nothing.
The only person who has been charged with this, which I don't agree with, the two people. I agree with Joshua Zeminski being charged. I don't agree with Dominic being charged. But those are the only two.
What was Dominic charged?
He was charged with providing a firearm to a minor, which I don't want to jeopardize his case, so I don't want to talk about much of that.
Did you at that moment though, because you had asked the question, just even to go back to it, did you think there was a really good chance there was going to be a mistrial?
I thought that was the only outcome.
Yeah, I did too for a little bit, and I was curious if that's what you were feeling in the room.
Did you like the judge?
Yeah, Judge Schrader is a nice guy, very old school, a very constitutional judge.
Yeah.
He was by the law, and he's not a judge you want to get sentenced by, what I hear from people, but he is a judge you want. If you want a fair trial, he's the judge you want.
Now, you're born and raised in Wisconsin.
Illinois, Wisconsin, yes.
Illinois, Wisconsin. Why don't you sound like Schroeder? Why don't you sound like talking like that?
Illinois.
Well, Illinois.
Yeah, but you crossed the border.
I'm gonna stab this pencil in your fucking eye.
They got a little bit of that, but they don't have that one,
No. I don't have much of a Midwest accent.
Do you find it funny when you're listening to Judge?
A little bit.
No.
Oh, we find it hilarious, but we're children.
I did find it.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Come on now. Dave is Fifth Amendment, right?
Well, I don't want to say giant, but he's a man baby.
I'm sort of a man.
Baby.
Yeah.
I'm a boy with gray hair.
He's a maybe.
I'm like a Benjamin Button that got caught halfway.
I can't tell.
He's like an amoeba with a high tolerance.
Man may be stretching it for you, Dave.
Well, Lord. He just came in hot. Like, he was like, I'm just going to go all in.
He knows I'm friendly.
Yeah, I know. Did you, when he was playing, is it Lee Greenwood who does the God Bless the USA song? When you heard that play his phone, did you go, yes?
I didn't even realize it.
Really?
No.
God bless the USA. How do you miss that?
I don't know. I think I was just more focused on like doodling on my notepad.
The only thing more blatant would be if it started playing I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt.
And then you would have seen me get stripped down in there.
I really wanted to do 20 different sketches of what that phone could have rang
Too
of.
sexy for my cloak. Too sexy for this gavel. And they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that was, my phone. I thought I had it on quiet.
Oh dear!
Don't get brazen with me. Did you laugh at that?
Oh, I don't know if you saw my face. I was like,
yeah, you must have.
My cheeks at
funny.
the end of the trial were so ripped up from how I had to bite my cheeks and lips like the entire trial because there was things that were just happening. I was just like,
so you were able to find levity in moments.
Oh yeah,
you were able to go like, okay, if I don't laugh, I'll cry. Let me ask you this before we go, because we're going to take questions on Mug Club. So I have 2 final questions for you. Gage Grosskreutz on the Zoom call falling out of his chair.
All-time best part of the trial.
Yeah, was it?
All-time best.
Did you pee a little?
I pissed myself.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about it is he was down for a while.
Well, because he was probably high.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a Charlie Chaplin sketch.
It was hilarious.
He didn't tip over. It was like when Marv in Home Alone is outside the window, slips on the ice. Whoop! He goes straight down. Like, how do you even do that?
Oh no! It was like definitely like like a director yelled action.
But you seem like you were laughing before that on the Zoom call.
Oh, I was like, I think I was laughing at something Mark was saying, and then I saw that, and then I was really laughing.
Were you worried that if you laughed too much, it would be used against you?
No. I just there was a thing like I had to show professionalism there.
Yeah. I wouldn't say mission accomplished on that one.
So I'd have to agree.
You don't have the best poker face.
Well, that
you were clearly tickled pink.
Yep.
Everyone was laughing except Gage.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think he knew where he was.
That's true.
And finally, you said
he was looking around on the ground for his arm.
Yeah, he was looking to smoke some parm. Stop, Dave.
You can hold it in, but I know.
Oh, he's been holding it in for so long. We don't want to have. He's going to get a stress ulcer.
Don't get it. It's me. Don't blame him.
Yeah, blame him.
This kid was on
send
trial.
All your
I'm trying
to him.
Yeah, send him to me. Yeah, send me for the joke police.
I hope there is some kind of restitution here as far as the libel and slander from the media. You don't have to talk about that, obviously.
No, but you deserve it.
You should never have to work another day in your life, but work because you want to.
Right now, we're focusing on Linwood and John Pierce. They're a bunch of liars. I'm not going to say much about them, but...
Well, you just did.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of liars.
Yeah.
And
it's like, I'm not going to say much about that piece of human shit. I'll bite my tongue.
Well, it's proven liars.
Well, he was almost on this show, and I said no. I said I don't. There's something smells fishy, Linwood, and so we've never had him on the show.
You're going to be accused of being deep state now.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
Is that what Linwood does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's when you realize that it's a grifter. Where if they just accuse anyone who doesn't like them of being deep state, is he saying you're deep state?
Apparently, he's accusing me of being handled, which is just false. I make my own decisions.
Yeah.
But I'm being by a bunch of people, just not him now. I'm being accused of being handled, and I'm not handled. I make my own decisions.
Okay. So you're focusing. Go ahead.
Oh no. What do you have to say to the people though that said you went there because of BLM and it was racially motivated?
This case has nothing to do with race. It's like nothing. Absolutely zero.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Didn't enter your mind.
Not at all.
And I just would like to clear the air with that because that was such the staple of the media.
Yeah.
That I think it's just important to just say that flat out that had nothing to do with what that was about.
You mentioned this before the show, and so I just wanted to bring it up. You said that you were just so grateful for people who supported you from the beginning.
100%. All the supporters, it just means so much, and the people in my circle, I'll give a quick, long shout-out.
I think that's the camera you're talking to there. Yeah, sorry.
I'll give a quick, long shout-out to Dave, LT, Kenny, TC, John's husband, Mark, Corey, Natalie, and just everybody who's helped me through this. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. And thank you to all of you guys who've supported us and donated at freekyleusa.org. It just means so much to us. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. We have a lot of people to love you. We'll be getting a chat here on Mug Club in a few minutes. But, yeah, we mourned in a lot of ways with these people. We prayed for you. We had team, kind of prayer groups about it. It was something that weighed heavy on our hearts for a while. And I told you, he asked me where where we had the streamers and confetti from when he was not guilty.
Yeah.
I said you should have seen what we had ready for if you lost.
Oh yeah. We
was like, what was going to happen? And I was like, well, you know what? We were ready. We were all ready to go down to Kenosha, and not, of course, to actually peacefully protest, but peacefully and very effectively make our voices heard. It was one where Gerald said it on the show. We said, this is not something we're going to sit by while a kid gets railroaded. We were ready for it. We were ready to leave like the next day. So
thank you guys for all the support. I've noticed. I've been a big fan of Mug Club for a while.
That's actually, you know what? Because was it the FBI or the police who went through your phone? Because you gave it willingly.
Yeah, the feds.
Okay, it was the feds. So they would have seen in your history some of our shows.
Probably.
So we're not on a watch list anymore.
There you go.
I'll take the win where I can get it. Watch it. What's that? What's that sound? Just a drone?
Yeah.
Just
flies.
Steven? Just an R2-D2 and a little plane. Okay. Everyone who's watching, thank you so much. Right now we're on YouTube. We're going to do some chat, take it from people on Mug Club, people who've been supporters, and Kyle's going to answer them directly. You can only answer what you want to. You can say pass. It's not like Jimmy Fallon. I'm not going to break any eggs on your head or anything like that.
Really? You didn't bring the eggs out?
I didn't bring the eggs out.
We were practicing before the show.
Yeah, I know. Then we said we should probably do comedy.
So Steven.
Yeah.
Did this interview stress you? I noticed you got a little gray right here.
Oh, geez. Well, okay. So Dave's fat and I'm gray. Yeah, it's called Twins and Titanium Rib Cage, but... you know, it's nothing compared to your stress.
You have no idea what you've just done.
Yeah, you almost had to deal with.
He's going to go dye his hair now.
Yes.
And spend the rest
it's nothing compared to him. I mean, he was almost.
You going to dye it purple, Steven?
Percy not wetting the sponge. What?
You going to dye it purple, Steven?
Yeah, I'm going to dye it purple. Get a nose ring.
Yeah.
And I will follow you everywhere you go.
Perfect.
And say white supremacy cannot win. And then I'll paint with my menstruation and get a job at BuzzFeed. All right, people on YouTube.
Canvas ass.
Smash the like button. Leave a comment below. If you want more Ash Wednesdays, because every now and then people say, I don't like Ash Wednesdays, I like Ash Wednesdays, and leave your support for Kyle, because Kyle can go and check the comment section. Usually I would say don't check the comment section.
Oh, I do.
This will be a good one.
Oh, God.
Well, you should.
Really?
Talk about that with your shrink, for crying out loud.
Don't do that.
Jeez. You have any idea the prescriptions he's going to give you? And it's just like, what? Oh, you didn't need Wellbutrin. You just need to stop reading the comment section. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, no kidding.
YouTube, you're not going to like this part. Piss off.